Hi everybody. Amy here with 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida. I'm going to wait for some people to jump on and then I'm going to continue. I have Carol next to me. Say hey, Carol.
Hi everybody.
I see Judy Webb, Davina, Colette, Stacy, Erica. Guys, if you are watching, can you just say something so I know that you're with me? I see your names pop up on the top, but I'm asking for everybody to say something to let me know that you are here, you are with us. Hi, Deborah Ann. Hi, Barbie. Keep it going. Let me know you're with me, please, Marissa. Let us know that you're here.
Hi Erica. Hi Melissa.
I'm going to wait for some people to jump on because there's a lot to update and I just don't want to keep repeating and repeating. So the more people that are here that we can start updating. Hi Lori. Hi Lauren.
Leslie.
Hi Natasha. Judy Webb.
Hi Judy.
Officer Webb, Detective Webb. Hi Susan Ho. Thank you guys for taking the second to
Hi Caitlin.
type and let us know that you are here and you are with us.
Hi Stacy. Hi Jamie.
We're here with
Maria, Tiffany.
169 people, 170. Hi Jody. Okay, couple more minutes. I want to get on as many people as possible because like I said, we have some information that we want to share with all of you. We want to update and I really cannot keep going and reiterating back and forth. We are exhausted as all of you are from what transpired from the animal cruelty case from yesterday on Sunday. Today's Monday.
And
Colleen. And the day before. Hello, Carol. Hello, Karen.
Hi everybody.
Hi, Jennifer. Jay. 224 people. Thank you so much, Barbie.
While we're waiting, we can take the opportunity to thank everybody for all their calls, for all their emails, for all their concerns, and it takes a village, and we're so very grateful that we're able to help all these animals because of you guys. And all of your voices.
We could not do this without all of you. I just want you to understand.
Hi, Ann from Ireland.
That we are power in numbers. We are a team. We are a village. And the only way things get done is when we have an army behind us. We look exhausted. Thanks a lot, Erica.
So, I am. I'll admit it. I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted and totally emotionally drained.
Work and do this.
Yeah. It's exhausting. We are home. We are sitting together on our couch. We decided this would be the best way together to update. We're at 278 people that I can see right now, 279.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. Hey, Stephanie, Nancy.
Stephanie.
286 people. Rhonda, Pat. Lourdes, Robin, Manuel, Debbie, Sharon, Erica, Patty Hill, Rose. Keep it coming, guys. We're at 295. Leslie, thank you. Your emails keep bouncing back because they are bombarded from Broward Animal Care and Adoption Kill Shelter. Thank you, Sandra. We're at 312 people right now. 310. 314. Thank you, Lori.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol Sablich. Hello, Jennifer from Naples. Kristen. We're at 320 people. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much, Jan. God bless you too, Marina. Thank you, Tracy. You are amazing as well. Like I said, yes, we are passionate, we are strong, we are the voice, and without all of you, Jeannie Freeman, we would not be able to do what we're doing. We're at 332 people currently on this video. I think, sorry I'm late, Morales, I haven't spoken yet. That's exactly why I'm waiting. I see people coming on. What happened? Jennifer Rothstein. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, everybody. Hello, Cynthia, Millie. Okay, guys, we have 346 people, state to state to state. It has gone viral. Hello, Boston. Hello, South Carolina. Hello, New Jersey.
We're sad too. We're sad too, New Jersey. It's sad that we have to go through all this to get our voices heard.
Wendy, I did get the invitation for 6/11 Tuesday. It's Tuesday morning. It is on Andrews Avenue. Is it the Commissioner's Chamber at 9 a.m.? Voice rally for the dogs, for being the voice for the animals for Broward County. I just received the invitation, and I'm going to look into it and see what it's all about. And then I can share it here on our main page, and hopefully we can get a lot of people out there. Samantha, we plan to keep up the great work. Thank you. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Seattle. All right, we're at 380 people. Can you lean into me a little bit, babe? I'm going to just kind of go back and forth between Carol and I. So first, I would like to start off with this video is to update every single one of you about the animal cruelty case. And it is not a suspected animal cruelty case. It is confirmed animal cruelty. So if the officials want to state that they were called on a animal cruelty case, a suspected animal cruelty case, that is incorrect. Because I'm here to tell you that what we witnessed with all of your eyes witnessing with us, with all the video, live footage, raw footage of the condition of those 3 dogs, 2 dogs from 5710 Northwest 12th Street in Lauderdale, Florida, 5 hours on that location in 90+ degree temperatures, cooking and baking in the sun. There were 2 dogs that were on short tethers, okay? And there was a puppy in a crate, sitting in feces, water bowl turned upside down. They were all barking and crying. It is not okay. Not okay. That is animal cruelty. We're at 402 people right now. Carol, I know that Carol has been extremely, just like all of us, I don't even know the word to use as to how you've been feeling.
I'm angry, I'm sad, and I'm frustrated. It shouldn't take all of this to hear our voices. Now, can you imagine if we didn't have this network? Where would these dogs be? They'd be dying in these crates and tied to fences. It shouldn't take all of this. Thank God we have this to get our voices heard, okay? But I see a lot of you saying about the press release, well, how come they, what is their determination? I think it's pretty clear what their determination was. If y'all remember the video, when the sergeant came out from the backyard, she clearly stated that I see no cruelty. There's nothing going on here. There's no cruelty here. And when I asked her how she determined that, and I asked her, did she measure even the tether, she told me she wouldn't debate me. And I said, oh, no, no debate. I'm just asking you a question. And she said, that's all I'm going to say. So it's clear that's what their determination is, isn't it? I mean, that's what I gather. We all have video. You all were with us throughout the whole day. You saw what was transpiring. So that's clearly their determination. The press release simply says, oh, yeah, we're going to just pass it on to Broward County Animal Control, which is a whole nother...
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So we just received a piece of paper, which to me was a waste of a tree. They put out like 3 sentences. It was Leslie Johnson, which I tried to call her about 4 or 5 times. I left a voicemail. They stated, Leslie Johnson put out a statement press release that the Lauderdale Police Department were called to a suspected,
No,
what was
well,
it?
no,
An animal cruelty case.
Probably, yeah.
A probable animal cruelty case. And basically,
that's what it is until you see it.
Contact the Broward Animal Care and Adoption for the determination and outcome of the situation. So let's not mention that we have on video with 255,000 plus followers watching live, where you clearly saw 4 police officers, one being a supervisor, stating, number one, that they don't know the animal laws. They don't know anything about animal laws. They know nothing about animal protection law. They know nothing about the statute. These are our police officers, the officials that are supposed to be here to serve and protect. Not just people, but animals. That's why laws are put into place. And it clearly states in the statute that an officer of the law is their duty to remove an animal that they find in distress. They do not need assistance to remove an animal. Now, wait a minute. Okay, with that being said, 4 officers, the first officer that arrived clearly stated on video that he saw horrific situation with the 3 dogs at 5710 Northwest 12th Street. When he said clearly on video, this was the first phone call that he's ever been called out to in this kind of a situation, that he does not know the law. That is the first officer. The second officer that showed up was a female. She said not one word. She would not talk to us. They both went on the property while we were in the backyard of the neighbor that reached out for our assistance, who now has a death threat, had to file a police report for protection for his life because the owner threatened him and stated that when the officers leave, that he's going to have something to worry about. That's that being said. Now we have the 2 officers that are on the property. We're in the backyard and we hear the owner, the man of the property, the renter of the dogs, owner of the dogs, yelling, raising his voice, and we can see through the fence clearly he is waving his arms in the police officer's face, which was confirmed with the police officer. Okay? Right then and there, he should have called for backup, and that man should have been held accountable. He is not to be talking to an officer of the law and treating somebody with such disrespect. Right then and there. The officer backed down because he was frightened and he was afraid. Now we have a third officer show up. Okay? He stated clearly on our video that he does not have a dog, that he does not know the law of animal protection, and now we have a supervisor show up. So we have 4 police officers from Lauderdale Police Department, and none of them know the law to protect animals.
So wouldn't you have liked to seen a little bit, at least in that press release, them saying that we are going to work harder to implement
Correct.
some sort of an educational program for our officers to learn about the animal cruelty laws and statutes? Wouldn't you have liked to seen that at least, so they can take some accountability? No, nothing in that press release whatsoever. They took no accountability whatsoever. They've passed the buck now on to Broward Animal Care and Control, and that is a whole nother issue right there. So,
exactly. So, Lauderdale Police Department, let's all remember something. They came out, they clearly stated on video, all 4 of them, none of them knew the law of animal protection. They had every right to remove those dogs. They had every right to file a report on animal criminal charges.
Lauderdale, Deborah.
Lauderdale Police Department. Criminal charges, because everything that those dogs were enduring were against the law. Every single one of them. We were out there for 5 hours dying. They've had one of those dogs for 9 years. 9, 10, 11, 9 years. The other dog they had for 5 years, and the puppy they've had for, what did they say, 4 or 5 months or something like that? Whatever. Regardless, Lauderdale took no responsibility. This is an epic fail on their part. They do not, in my opinion, they do not care about animals. And guess what? It's not acceptable. It's not okay. So they need to implement. The press release should have stated that with the video footage that is going around on social media, that our officers are going to be put through a training program to teach them the laws of protection for animals. The laws are set in place for a reason, just like for people, breaking the law, criminal charges, civil. All these laws are placed in place for a reason.
And just to be clear too, if you were watching those videos, you saw the police officer, or maybe you didn't hear him, but he did say, "We know this guy. There's been several incidences with this guy."
That's right. I know him.
So, and there was even one point where there was not any police presence whatsoever. At one point, remember, they all left. We were still waiting for animal control.
Oh, wait. Let me intervene. Carol's right. So after the owner made a threat to David, the neighbor behind him. If you saw or didn't see, there was a video where I was in the backyard, and the same owner, the same man of those dogs, was on some sort of a ladder or something to raise him up so that he could yell and scream at me personally over the fence. Now, the verbal abuse that came out of this man's mouth, first of all, he called me an ugly white bitch. He told me to suck his dick. He gave me the finger on both hands, an ugly trumper, and I have a surprise for you. Oh yeah, he said. Didn't he? Yeah. I have a surprise for you. Now, I don't take that lightly. I went to the officer, who also stated that he didn't know the law of animal protection, that he doesn't have a dog. And when I went to him and I said, "Did you hear what he said to me?" He said, "Yes." He goes, "I know him from previous." And right. I was like, okay, well, that makes me feel really comfortable.
Oh, no, he said that they get talked to like that all the time.
No, and he said, we get talked to like that all the time, and he's just talking.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, maybe that's just the way it is. But maybe they can't do anything about that because he clearly didn't say anything. We knew what he was implying. However, they should have never left us without any police presence, as we were still waiting for animal control.
Correct.
At least one person should have stayed behind, because there was nobody there at one point. I remember even saying to Amy and Zoe, "We can't sit here. We're sitting ducks.
Right.
We've got to move. There's no police here anymore."
Vanessa's telling me to get a restraining order.
Yeah, well, we need to do that, and we probably will. That won't be the first time we had to get one, but it should never have come to this. And in my opinion,
the officers failed.
They put our lives in jeopardy.
Correct.
They put David's life in jeopardy, and they made this into something bigger than it actually had to be.
Right. If they did their job, none of this would have transpired.
Exactly. And the problem is, and the issue is, even if they were unclear and unsure of the laws, they should have been had a little bit more empathy of what their eyes were seeing, and they should have said to us, "Well, we're not really sure or really clear, but we're going to find out because this isn't correct. And we're going to make sure that we correct it."
That's what we're going to do.
We felt like we were the criminals there.
Oh, for sure.
And we were talked to, we were talked down to,
white
we
bitch,
were ignored.
White bitch.
It was absolute. You guys saw, I don't have to reiterate. You saw the video. Make your own determination. I'm telling you how I felt and how we all felt. And it was very frustrating. It made me very sad. It broke my heart. And even before we left, the dogs were still in the same position. I was even in my car by myself. I tried to get after the animal control officer, and I said, "They're still in the crate. They're still tied to the fence."
That's Broward Animal Care and Control.
Broward Animal Care and Control wouldn't even do anything.
Animal Control did nothing.
And they just kept going. And they
were laughing.
They left them in that situation. She wouldn't even talk to me. She wouldn't even tell me.
They were laughing. They were all laughing.
Right. And the pure frustration that I had, and I just was sick all night, and I was thinking, oh my God.
These poor dogs.
The torment and the torture that these dogs go through. We can't even walk from our car to the, to the building without being like, oh my God, I need AC. And it just breaks my heart. And we know that there's a lot of that going on, but here's an opportunity where you could do something, because we see it. We have a neighbor who's cooperating, who's allowing us to show, and we have the opportunity to do something as a community. Follow the laws, follow the statutes. They didn't want to hear a thing. They didn't want to do a thing, and it was just complete disrespect, disregard.
Oh yes, Sarah. The laughing is all over the video. That's all they did was laugh.
The laughter that I saw was when I was peeking through the fence in the backyard.
Right, me too.
And the sergeant, I don't know if you could see it on video or not.
Oh, I don't know, but we were all. That's all we kept saying. They're all laughing.
I saw it.
Yeah, and the officers were laughing with them. It wasn't just the owners of the property.
No, well, I saw what I had witnessed when I said that about the laughing. What I witnessed with my own eyes was I was peeking through as the sergeant went back there, and I was trying to watch to see what they were going to do, if they were going to help these animals in distress. And she went back there, and she was with the woman, the woman owner, and they were sitting there. They were laughing as they were walking away, and that struck me really, really in a bad way, because I thought, there's nothing funny here. I'm not sure what they were laughing about, but they were giggling together. So that's what I saw.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of people are asking about the dogs. Okay, guys, I'm going to get there, okay? I did an update after animal control came, after 5 hours of us sending all of you, sending emails, making phone call after phone call after phone call. 5 hours later, the animal control officer came. We have dealt with so many animal control officers when we call for assistance. They talk to us. They tell us what the finding was. They show us what the citations are. Just for example, the other day on the puppy that was locked in the cage from the other cruelty case, she showed us the citation that she was putting on the door. She told us what she was doing. Remember?
Yeah.
We knew everything that transpired.
I've never had an officer that doesn't tell you what they did, or and just completely disregards you.
Judy Webb is saying we have to go above the police. Correct, which is what.
And a lot of you have.
Right.
I've seen a lot of you that you're talking to commissioners, you're
Correct.
talking to the mayor, you're mailing the governors, and that's exactly what we need to do. And that's exactly what they're doing, Judy. That's what everybody is doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So animal control came. We know they did not remove one animal. None of the animals were removed. They were there in a very quick manner too.
Carol, Carol is talking about a different situation. When she writes they took the puppy, they did not take the puppy from the property we're talking about right now. She's talking about a previous.
The previous. Let's not talk about. Okay. Let's not confuse the two. Okay, let's focus on 5710
Yes.
in Lauderdale of the 3 dogs. Okay, so if anybody asks any questions, anything you answer, please only answer if you know what's happening.
They did not take any of the dogs.
None of the dogs were
property.
removed from 5710 Northwest 12th Street in Lauderdale. All 3 dogs, the 2 that were on the tether, the puppy in the cage. The puppy in the cage, his tongue was hanging out. We posted the video twice with all the commissioner, the mayor, all the email addresses to start writing. No worries, Carol. I just don't want people to get confused. So we're talking about 5710 Northwest 12th Street. Again, all 3 dogs were not removed from the property. When we asked animal control, we were right there parked, facing the truck, waiting. She would not stop. She would not talk to us. Carol, you asked her something, and what did she just said? That it was a public record, and that...
Yeah, well, I said, can I have a copy of the report? She said, no, it's public record. I said, well, can you tell me what they were cited for? Can you tell me what happened? And she said, no, file for public records. It's private information. And you guys weren't there.
It's not private. It's public.
You guys were still behind me. And the people on the side, on the street, they were like, he was holding his dick and he was going, that's right, bitch, it's private information. And they were heckling me. And the animal control officer just got in her car.
Cheryl, there's nothing to say that the dogs are not in a garage. I don't know that. But
we have no way
of knowing where the dogs are right now. Okay? So all we do know is that
they're not tethered to the fence,
and they're not in a crate.
Outside.
They're not outside. Now, the reason I know this is after all, you got to remember something. All night long and all morning and all afternoon today until I went out there to the location at 5710 Northwest 12th Street today, after all transpired yesterday, all the phone calls and the emails let me tell you something. I'm still receiving emails CC'd of all of you that are sending your emails to all of the commissioners, to all the news stations. I received 2 calls from the news. They're not asking the proper questions. They're like, well, where are the dogs? And I'm trying to explain to them this was a very long process. This isn't a cut and dry situation. It's with news. They want the hype. They want it now. They should have been out there yesterday. It's pretty sad we did not get it. I'm sorry we did not get them out there yesterday, and then they wanted to come out today. With this being said, all night, all day, all of you making your phone calls, your emails, you and us together, we put the pressure on, and they knew they had to do something. I'm sorry, that's the bottom line.
Because they left without doing anything.
That's right.
They left those dogs still cooking in a crate and tied to the fence. They all left them in that situation. So now they're not in that situation. It's true. We don't know if they're in a garage. We don't know. We have no idea. We have no control over that because they didn't remove the dogs. But we know they're not cooking out in the sun.
Right.
And that's the part that what can we do?
Okay, so now with all this being said, this morning, after answering a million phone calls, emails, I got into the car and I sent emails for public records request along with many other people to my contacts at the Broward Animal Care and Adoption Kill Shelter, which, mind you, the director of Broward Shelter, Lorelei Combs, put out a video stating that they are full and they are not going to be taking in any dogs or cats. 10 dogs were killed yesterday for behavioral. There was nothing put out. A director can put out towards the media begging for assistance from the community, that we are in desperate need of adopters, fosters. We were told by a person that went to the shelter to offer assistance. They were told they can only foster a cat or kittens and a large dog, that they're not letting small dogs be fostered. I don't understand that, but regardless, let's also remember that the puppy that we fought for, the little puppy that was sitting in a cage in direct sunlight in Lauderdale just last week, that was removed and taken into animal control, and I went there and sat there for hours. That puppy is still sitting there. We put our rescue hold on that puppy. We put our rescue hold on that puppy, and as of right now, the puppy is still there. So hopefully we'll be getting that puppy.
I do want to say one thing too. I want to say that last night, as this was going down too, we were seeing a lot of people who were calling the Lauderdale Police Department, and the Lauderdale Police Department was telling these people that the dogs were removed from the property.
Right.
So we immediately called the neighbor, and he said, no, the 2 dogs are still tethered to the fence. So, and we know now, especially now, we know because we know the dogs are still in the house, that they were lying to the public. They were telling the public that the dogs had been removed. For those of you who can verify that you were calling and that's what they were reporting to you, that was not the truth.
Right. They wanted to make you go away. See, they want to tell you what you want to hear. They want the calls to stop coming. They want to take the pressure off. So what they're doing, which is totally unacceptable on every level. I can't believe that an authority, an official of the law is going to lie to the community and the public and say that the dogs have been removed. They were never removed. They were never removed. Not by the Lauderdale Police Department and not by Broward Animal Control. So I took my ass in my car and I drove over to the address. First I went to the neighbor and I walked on his property. I reached out and he said yes. I walked on the property. Shelly went with me. I got onto a chair so I could see over, because what they did was they took all kinds of debris, wood, and all kinds of things to basically cover the fence so that you really couldn't peek in. It made it harder to see what was going on in their backyard. I was able to get on a chair and easily see over the fence that there were no dogs on the property. It was quiet. All 3 dogs were gone from the backyard at 5710 Northwest 12th Street in Lauderdale. So then I decided to, Shelly, thank you, looking through the fence, she saw a car in the front of their yard with writing on it. And I was like, oh my God, that is a police car. So we drove around the corner and we parked at the end of the street. And that's where I did my video. I was facing the 2 police cars from Lauderdale Police Department. And I just sat there and I waited. I then saw them get into their car. I don't know how long they had been there. I saw them pulling away. I stopped one of the officers and I told him I was filming him. I asked him for an update. He told me that all 3 dogs were inside the house. He did not say where in the house. He said he had another call to go to. I asked him about Broward animal control update. He said he had no idea. And basically he said he was not there yesterday, so he doesn't know. All he knows is that the 3 dogs were taken out from being outside and brought inside. And while this was transpiring, one of the owners, a female, was out there with her phone and facing it onto my car as I was facing my camera on the activity in front of their home down the road. She then started walking towards my car, and I decided to roll up my window because I certainly did not want any confrontation, and then I drove away. Well, she got my license plate, and that's that. So with that being said, I absolutely will go and get a restraining order. Because that man did, in my opinion, over the fence, threaten me in a way that I'm not comfortable. I don't take those kind of threats lightly. We live in a crazy world with a lot of mental illness and a lot of rage and anger. As you know, every time you turn on the media, all you see are shootings and murders, and it's very, very disheartening, and it's scary. It's a scary world that we live in today.
We actually had to block a couple of them off of the page
The
last
owner
night.
was on our page.
There were 2 of them that were on our page last night for some of you who saw them, and they were hurling, obscenities and all kinds of things on the page, and we had to block them on the page.
Right. So I shared with all of you the press release from the Lauderdale Police Department. The next thing I'm going to share with you is the release. It wasn't released to me. My email went unanswered from Broward County Animal Care and Animal Control. I reached out to Philip and Lorelei Combs, who is the director, and I got 0 response from early this morning. So with this being said, somebody in the media or somebody sent this to me. It was released, and this is Broward Animal Control's response to the chain of events that happened. And I get ready to be outraged. That's all I'm going to say. Because you have to think, as I start reading this, I want you to remember every single thing that you witnessed with your eyes and why you are outraged. I want you to remember everything you witnessed of the condition of the dogs, all the laws and the statutes that are in place to protect these animals. Okay? With that being said, I think quickly we should, before I read this, I think we should talk about just the highlights of what they did that were illegal for the animals. So, number 1, it is illegal to tether to a stationary fence.
You can't have
or
a
pole.
fixed. Yeah, you can't have a fixed tether. You can't have them fixed. It has to be on a pulley.
A pulley. And they can't be unattended. There has to be somebody home.
And it also has to be a certain length too.
Right.
I think it's
5 times the length.
And then
of the dog.
It can't be above 85 degrees.
Right.
And
which it was 90 plus.
Was 90 plus. Mm-hmm. And then they can't be in a
cage.
In a cage like that. There's a certain amount of square footage that they have.
No animal can be in a cage.
Yeah.
They can be in an exercise pen if there's a cooling system for short periods of time. What else? Fresh food and water, which there was no water visible. It was turned upside down.
Exactly. Even the video that you guys saw, you saw the food and the water in there. But but the neighbor even knows 24/7, the water is turned over. There's not even any water in there. So.
And you saw the video of the puppy. The tongue was hanging out, and he was panting, and his whole body was panting. He was overheating clearly. The other 2 dogs that were barking nonstop in distress. The boxer senior had a thick collar around her neck, and the tether was chained to a piece of wood. And the other dog that was laying in the dirt right up against the fence next to the puppy, she had a short tether that was attached to the chain link fence, which is illegal. Okay, so all of these things are illegal. Now, and I can tell you one other thing. They did not have any vaccines or tags. So hold on. And the reason I know this is I'm going to read to you right now. Stay with me. There's 368 people. Here we go. Okay. Contrary to the report received from the anonymous complaint, shelter was available to most of the dogs and none of the animals were found in feces. The area the dogs were maintained was free of debris and fairly tidy. I spoke with the occupant and the 2 residents advising of the necessary tethering corrections. Spiral stakes were recommended, which she intends to purchase this evening. This is the animal control officer reporting on 5710 Northwest 12th Street in Lauderdale. The owner of the dogs intends to purchase them this evening. It was also specified that someone must be home for the dogs to be tethered, which the residents confirmed was no issue, as there were generally at least 2 people home at any time. It was also specified that the puppy, Faith, must have access to proper shelter and must be maintained inside if it cannot be provided in a timely manner. Proper enclosure sizes were also explained, so the family now understands that crating is only acceptable inside. A warning for Chapter 4 ordinance, Sections 410 and 411, no rabies shot and no Broward County license tag was issued for all 4 dogs. Although the puppy may be just shy of age, brochures were provided along with rabies clinic flyer sequencing for 24 hours to verify corrections. That is what they issued. There's no mention of any citation. There's no mention of any criminal charges. Nothing. That is what animal control did and left, and left the dogs on their tethers and in the crate. When she left, all 3 dogs. Now, what do they know? The 4 ordinance, not 4 ordinance. There were 3 dogs on the property. Mm-hmm. 3 dogs on the property, not 4 dogs, Kathy. 3 dogs. Yes, they are blind.
And then the part that really gets me is even the first sentence. It says, contrary to the report received from the anonymous complaint, shelter was available to most of the dogs.
No, there wasn't.
And none of the animals were found in feces.
No, they weren't. Yes, they were.
Shelter was available.
There was no shelter. Dogs? There was no shelter. Mm-hmm. That puppy had no shelter, locked in a crate.
And the area the dogs were maintained was free of debris and fairly tidy. The
tidy?
dog was sitting in dirt.
It was sitting in feces and dirt. That's
right.
Tidy?
Right. So she gave, in this report, they gave their recommendation that, and she intends to purchase this evening. And then it says that proper enclosure sizes were explained to the family, which they now understand, and they were given a warning. That's all that this says here, which means that she left those animals in that condition. The situation was never remedied before she left. She left them in that condition with their word that they would go ahead and, fix everything, and that was it.
Now, this animal control officer that arrived on the scene...
It says they have 24 hours to verify corrections. Mm-hmm. So I guess they went back today, right? When you pulled up, the cops were there. We don't know if animal control...
I have no idea. Well, they won't answer my email, so how do I know?
They're not answering us, no. So we don't know. So the cops were there, though, and that was... All that we got from the cops was that the dogs were inside. So we don't know about any wellness check on them. We don't know what's happening.
Outrageous is right.
Yeah. So, guys, this is where we stand. So
now we need to reach out, and we need to keep calling and emailing the commissioners, the mayor, anybody higher up, and animal control. Keep going and keep going. You cannot let this you can't take the heat off because what they think is they're going to make it go away. We're going to go away. It's not going to go away.
Now what we really need to figure out is how are they going to move forward with correcting their behavior?
Right.
How are they going to become better at what they're supposed to be doing? Are they going to implement a program now where they're going to teach their officers
the law,
what they're supposed to be doing when called on an animal cruelty case? That's what I'd like to hear from them. I'd like to hear some accountability for them to say, this is what we're going to do moving forward. We're sorry about the sequence of events. Looking back, we have learned that this is what we're going to do to become better, a better
and
department.
And that's right. We have videos of everything.
And then moving forward with Broward County Animal Care and Control, obviously they need to do things much better. And I think we'd all agree on that.
Well, it starts with the director. She's the one in control.
And it starts with the director, which, as an animal rescue group, we always want to have a good relationship with these kind of people.
Absolutely.
You want to have a good relationship with the police. You want to have a good relationship with...
But they need to work with us.
With the shelters. But if this is how you're going to be treated, we're supposed to be, together in this. We're supposed to be helping these animals. That's supposed to be your job. Your job is to serve and protect. Your job is to take care of these animals, to follow these statutes that were put into place to protect these animals. That's your job. Okay, so they need to figure out what they're going to do to rectify and remedy the situation. So now maybe your calls, and your emails and the things that you're putting forward in motion, maybe they need to be directed on how are you going to remedy this situation? How are you going to do better by the community?
Well,
by the animals.
Susan Ho just said, did they take any photos to show proof of what they're saying?
We don't know, Susan.
We don't know because they won't answer us. But you know what, Susan? What that made me think of when you said that was all I can remember is that video of that puppy that was laying on its side in a big pile of feces with no water bowl and barely breathing and panting in such distress and overheating. And then I remember witnessing all day long, seeing the two helpless dogs on the short tethers. One was in the dirt and there was debris all around and feces, and the other one was on a thick collar in direct sunlight. Even if there's some sort of a shelter box, the box that the shelter for the boxer looking gray muzzle, that dog had there was like no ventilation. It was a box. So if you take yourself and crawl into a wood box on a tether in dirt, do you think you're going to get any kind of a relief from the 90+ degree temperatures?
Not only that, you know what I kept thinking about? I couldn't even sleep, and all I kept thinking about too was that black plastic on a crate. It's black plastic. Can you imagine? Yesterday it was so hot. I went to go sit on the sidewalk next to Dave. I had to get up because it was burning my ass. And then I started thinking, this puppy is laying on this black plastic piece of plastic on that crate. Do you know how hot that must have been to the touch? And he was laying on that or she was laying on that black piece of plastic.
I don't think there could be anything worse than being that either fire, most painful, and heat stroke or starvation.
You don't even have to be a professional in anything. You just have to have a heart in your chest. You have to be a human being who doesn't lack empathy. You have to be somebody who has some sort of compassion to look at that and say, this isn't right. Whether you're an authority who doesn't know how to implement or enforce the laws, whether you're in that situation or not, you certainly can look with your own eyes as a human being and say, you know something, this doesn't seem right to me. So let's make sure that maybe there's something we can do to help this situation.
So while we updated everybody, I think the pressure needs to be kept on Broward Animal Care. I think that the pressure needs to be kept on Lauderdale Police Department and tell them that their 3-line press release is absolutely a joke and it is an insult to our intelligence, and that we demand to know what are they going to do.
Wait a minute. What does that say?
What? For
a few who are saying, can we move on from this? If you don't want to listen, you guys should move on. Becky, I didn't see who wrote that, but I'll go back and I'll take a look at who wrote that. Can we move on from this?
Do you know who wrote that? Because we can always just kind of get rid of him.
Because I can help them move on. I can just, block them from the page. I mean, move on from this. Move on from this. I'll help them move on,
Who cares? Don't, whatever. What I was going to say, I had a crate pan, block him. I don't know who it is, but it could be somebody that's friends with the owner. Who knows? Whatever. Just ignorance. It's everywhere, guys. Just forget it. If you want to say the name, then we'll go ahead and block it, or we'll have to look through all these comments.
It's a simpleton. So.
Yeah, simpleton is right. So, guys, listen. Kathy Healed? Kathy. Okay, we'll go back. Block Kathy Healed if you can find it on your phone, Carol, please. Anyways, what I want to say moving forward, what I would like to ask all of you is, it's very important to keep the pressure on. I really think that what they want is for us to just kind of slip away. They want to get rid of us, and if we stop, then what's going to happen is nothing's going to change, and we're going to have to keep repeating that every time we're called out to an animal cruelty case, especially in Lauderdale, it should not be this way. It shouldn't be difficult. It shouldn't be such a challenge to try to help an animal. And here's the thing. This is not an opinion, okay? The laws are very clear, and the statutes are very, very clear. And everything that these dogs were forced to endure go completely against the laws that are in place and implemented for a reason. So with this being said, they can argue and they can say whatever they want, but law is law, okay? You can't argue the law. Now, everybody's yelling at Kathy. I don't know who this person is, but you need to get rid of her.
Well, wait a minute. She's actually a top fan. I don't know if
she
meant...
what did she mean?
She read,
how are all the dogs in the rescue house?
I think she's just maybe...
Kathy, do you want to say something? Because maybe they're taking your comment out of context.
Yeah, I mean, it says she's a top fan.
Can we just move on?
So...
Kathy, if you're... Move on, Kathy. Okay, that's what Lori said. I don't know what she said. So we'll address it later.
But the whole reason why we can't move on from this is because we need to do better.
Yeah.
We need to do better by these animals. Yeah. So you can't move on while you have their attention.
Who else can we email? The question is, who else can we email? Well,
the mayor, the governor, the commissioners, the director,
all the commissioners, the director,
the chief of police, just all at this point, what you need to do is speak from the heart and tell them what you saw, tell them what you witnessed, and tell them what you'd like going further. That's it. That's what you need to do. I'm not doing this to make enemies, not doing this to, cause any kind of disruption. I'm doing this to try and do better by these animals.
They're asking who the boss is. Who is Lorelei Combs' boss? So that
would be the mayor.
Wouldn't it? Well, we're going to find out who exactly before we state it.
Okay, so but one thing. Now I lost my train of thought. But one thing.
She said we're spending too much time on these dogs. That's what Kathy said. That's what somebody said.
Spending too much time on the dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not going to help you guys anymore, and she is tired of hearing this for 3 days now.
Oh, we need to get rid of her. Yeah. We trust our supporters. No worries, guys. She'll be gone. No worries.
Yeah.
Mayor Ken Thurston.
I
is
know.
The Lauderdale, Florida governor.
Yeah, that's who you need to reach.
You definitely need to. Absolutely. Yeah. Brittany, thank you for that little bit of knowledge.
So there was a comment that struck me too that I saw, and it said. I had talked to a friend of mine who's a police officer in Lauderdale, and they said that there are a bunch of dogs in backyards that are tied and tethered.
I saw them.
And that's what this. I read a comment on there, and it just crossed my mind. I'm like, well, that's all the more reason why we need to make sure these things are done properly.
Right.
So
since we know that it's illegal. What we're going to be doing is every animal cruelty call that we receive, we're going to go out. We're going to go out. No, of course, don't ask me if we can take every dog because that's impossible, okay? But I can tell you that when we get a call for animal cruelty, we're going out, we're going to go live, and we're going to call everybody that needs to be called, all the statutes and laws in place, and we're going to just watch the chain of events and make sure that they're doing their job, because we're going to get all these dogs that are being forced to live on tethers without shelter and the animal control that doesn't want to pick them up because they're full. We just said this before. So if an ambulance, police are called for a person who's injured, bleeding,
let me not take him to the hospital because we're full.
We're full. We're short. We're short of beds in the hospital. So you're gonna have to take care of yourself. Would that ever happen? Ever?
Yeah.
Ever? Why is an animal's life not as important? An animal is a living, breathing, helpless, innocent being, okay? So for anybody that can sit by and watch these animals live in these conditions and endure what they've endured, I'm going to tell you right now, we are 100% no kill. You've seen everything we've taken in from all breeds, from bullies to littles to seniors. We go above and beyond. We do everything in our power. We don't skimp on money, on medical, to give each and every rescue, at almost 4,000 rescued, the best of care. And we have dogs that are super dog aggressive, and we will never euthanize our dogs like that, okay? So with that being said, all these animals that are being tortured and being forced to endure, let me just, for example, here you have it. The shelters do 0 home checks. Anybody can walk in, show a license, and they can adopt a dog from the shelter. Now, let's just say this family, these people that are torturing the 3 dogs at 5710 Northwest 12th Street, they walk in as a family and they go and they adopt a dog from Broward, Miami. Guess what? That dog's going to be put on a tether or put in a crate in that backyard. One of those dogs, those 3 dogs, could have came from Broward, Miami. And those dogs, that's the life that they're living. Guess what? I would rather see a dog humanely euthanized than be tortured in that kind of a life. That's me. I'm sorry.
I'd rather die than live
I would rather die. If that was me, I would rather be put to my rest than to be forced and tortured, tied to a fence in 100+ degrees,
or in a cage.
In a cage, no water, being tortured for years and years and years, day in and day out, okay? I would rather be euthanized. So for me, I don't even get excited when I see these dogs getting adopted into these people's hands, because I imagine, I don't want to, but because of all the cruelty, the abuse that we see, that's what I picture when I see all these people adopting, giving away free day dog giveaway at the shelters to clear the shelter day. I am sick to my stomach. And any animal rescue or any person with a brain in their head, you really need to think about it when you see all of this. They do no background checks. And for any rescues that want to call themselves a rescue, a 501c3 rescue, for any of you that give a dog to any person,
you don't know where they're going,
without doing a home check,
you don't know where
shame
they're going.
on you, because basically you could be putting that dog to a fate worse than death. That is not rescue, guys. I'm sorry. It's not rescue. Oh my God, you can't stop now, because if you did, what would happen to all those beautiful innocent souls? I'm never tired of listening to you two. Love you both. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Cindy. We love you too.
That's Chris and Cindy. While I have you here, I know we've been going on, and I'm sure you have other things you much rather. It's 7:30. Yes, clear the shelter is horrific. Most end up dumped in the street or dumped back. Or given away, fate's worse than death. Deborah Ann agrees, 100%. Cece, Cheryl, true. While I agree, it makes me sick. Even with home checks, people Lori Jacoby, amen.
Right on.
How many home checks have I done personally on my team? And they're beautiful. I show you the adoption, and then 6 months, a year later, we're getting our dog back. And we're getting our dog back. And you think you've done your due diligence, it's just, this is what we deal with. Hi, Cheryl Mays. Okay, before I sign off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you.
Honey. I'm going to put up some email addresses that you take it upon yourself.
Speak from the heart.
Speak from your heart. Let them know how you feel. I know you're tired. If you want to take a break for a little bit and a breather, and just kind of decompress and collect your thoughts, maybe write them down, take your time. If you want to write a 2-sentence email, that's fine too. But let them know what's going on. If you want to share our videos, thank you, Tammy. Tammy Gwynn, who's part of Robinson is part of our team. Exactly,
Yeah.
Tammy. Look at Max. 5 years later, we
Wonderful,
adopted Max.
dog.
That's right, a perfect dog, and his family failed him because they split up and became hard times, so they failed Max. Thank God for Tammy. He's in her bed. Tammy has been so kind to take all the videos that when we go live, they need to be uploaded to YouTube. Tammy, you know you're watching. All the videos from yesterday, if you can make sure that they're all uploaded. Also, Tammy, the puppy, that short video clip that was sent by David, if you can upload that video with the verbiage, even if it's underneath, to our YouTube, because I want to go back and I want to grab all those videos and put the links up for you people so that if you want to add them to your emails, and discuss what you witnessed with your own eyes, that it is clear that all the Florida statutes and animal laws of protection were broken, and every officer that was called and arrived and called to the scene, they failed these dogs. It was an epic fail. So Lauderdale Police Department, you failed these 3 dogs. You failed the rescue organization. You failed over 255,000 people that are following you, statewide, country, different states, different countries.
And another thing is for one department to push it on the other department and say, "Oh no, we're not dealing with this.
Shame
we don't
on
know.
you.
We don't know the laws, and let them take care of it." You all should be working together. You should be working in tandem. It should be together.
Listen, an officer of the law needs to know his law.
That's correct.
Their law is in place for a reason.
correct.
How do 4 police officers from Lauderdale Police Department show up with an animal cruelty case with an animal rescue ourselves and say they don't know the law?
What they said was that Broward County Animal Control, they're the ones who have to enforce it.
That's not true.
Right. Well, that's what they said to us.
Because they don't know the law, and they said they don't know the law.
Right.
They're pushing it, and they're passing the buck. They're the baton on to the other entity. Lauderhill wants to take no responsibility. Broward Animal Care and Control want to take no responsibility.
At the very least, Animal Control could have stopped and said, "This is what we've done. We have told them this and that, and we cited them for this, and this is what we're going to do moving forward," or anything. She refused to even speak to me.
She wouldn't speak to us. She wouldn't update us.
After waiting for 4 hours.
Yes, guys, yes. So I am going to post all the statutes.
Yeah.
We're going to post all the statutes clear as day. And we're going to put them on our page, and we're going to put
anybody can go to the Broward County, to Animal Care.
I know, but it's tough. We're just going to make it easy for everybody.
We'll post it for you.
We're going to put the statutes on our page when we shut down. We're going to put the email addresses that are most important for you to email. I'm going to take all the YouTube videos that transpired, all the chain of events that happened yesterday. I'm going to add that also. And remember, you have to scroll back some because so much happened yesterday. I know it's work. I know we're all tired. Tired isn't even the word, guys. But we're here. We're still here. We're still updating nonstop, around the clock. So please, I know you all want to help. And if you really want to help, then this is where we need you. We need the emails to continue. We need the phone calls to continue. We need you to use your imagination, your brain, come up with different things. Maybe there's something that we're missing.
It shouldn't be this exhausting.
It shouldn't be this exhausting to try to help helpless
be a
animals.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But we can't do this alone. And We need your assistance. I love when there are people like yourselves that you really get your wheels turning, and you throw different ideas. You can send us an email. You can send us a private notification. I'm trying my best to respond. If I do a thumbs up on the response or just a thank you, it means that we already have the information, and I'm just exhausted and I can't keep writing. Please don't take it personal. There's so many people calling me from state to state. I think this morning it started at 7:30, and I answered every phone call up until 1:30 this afternoon before I jumped into a tub and then headed out to the location to check on the dogs. So, if you know of any attorneys, any contacts that you think that could bring some light to the situation and help us move forward to add change, implement change, and listen.
Yes, you can post videos on Facebook.
Yes, you can post videos on Facebook. What I want is I want the help from every one of you. We have a big support system here. So everybody put your brains together, and whatever you can share and help. If there's anybody in law, or any attorneys, maybe there's an attorney out there that can help us, and donate their time if you know of anything that you can help us with. So, guys, I'm gonna put all this together. Do you think there's anything I'm missing, Carol?
I don't think so. If there's any questions, just throw them out now. We can answer them real quick, and then we're gonna shut down. So,
a public protest at animal control. What?
It's just that there's been so many. I don't mean to be like pessimistic, but yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, we should.
I don't think there's. I think we should. I think we should all pull together and.
Let's do it.
I think if that's what it takes, if we can't put it this way, if we cannot get a response from the director and all the animal control entity, and we can't if we don't get them working with us as a team to make change and help, then we need to protest.
Yes.
And that's the bottom line, and get all the media outlets out there. That's what we need to do. But if we put out, education is always key, absolutely, and that's what we always try to do, Virginia. Yes, but we need to pull together and work together. We would want nothing more than to work together with animal control. I can tell you right now, before this director, the director prior, whenever I called and I needed assistance on a cruelty case, they were there quickly, and we got the dogs, Carol.
Yeah.
They removed the dogs. I never dealt with anything like this before.
No,
never.
Do you remember Zeus and Coco? We went right in the backyard with
Thomas Adair. I mean, he was right there.
With the animal.
Right there. I had him on speed dial, and he always was there. Whatever happened, happened.
They would be there.
He was always there for me with the animals. So I've not had that opportunity with the new director, Lorelei Combs. She doesn't answer when I need assistance, emails, phone calls. They don't answer. She's in a meeting. She's unavailable. I got a handshake the other day when I went there to speak about the puppy. It was very short. I did not feel warm and fuzzy about it. I don't need stroking by any means. What I need is respect, and I will give the same back to whoever I'm dealing with. But I think it's so important to work with your rescue community and make.
We're supposed to be in this together.
Right.
You're not supposed
We're here
to
for
be
the
enemies.
same cause.
We're supposed to be
we don't want to hurt anybody.
You're supposed to be on the side of the people who want to help the animals, not the abusers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. That's the way it's supposed to work.
It's really sad to me. And everybody that I speak to, I have a lot of contacts and a lot of friends in animal rescue. They're 501s. They work behind the scenes. And everybody I talk to is really, really complaining about what's going on at Broward right now. There's been some stories circulating by the media, not such good things. And we would really love to try to help Broward Shelter, but we can't work with them if they're not willing to work with us. You can't do it alone. It takes, you have to have communication, and we have no communication because they won't respond to us.
Yeah, so this is not fun for anybody. This is not a fun situation.
Yeah, Virginia, I'm going to tell you something. This is my opinion. I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. but I'm not a big fan of the no-kill coalition. And the reason being is because I was involved in it when I first started 8 years ago. I'm not going to go deep into it, but I'm going to tell you that so many more animals are being killed at the shelters right now because Miami-Dade is claiming they're a no-kill shelter. Broward Animal Care and Control, who is bursting at the seams, the stench is horrific, the animals' conditions are horrible, they're killing for behavioral because the dogs are being kept in cages for so long and they're not being socialized. They're being killed for behavioral because animals can't be caged. They go crazy, and that's when they start acting out. So the no-kill equation for me is like a hoarding situation, and basically, if Broward and Miami-Dade are calling themselves a no-kill shelter and they're promoting themselves as a no-kill shelter, I can tell you as a rescue head of the organization, I receive calls and emails that they're going to surrender their pet to the shelter because it's no-kill. They're not no-kill. No-kill works if your percentage is lower than whatever the number is. Then you can be considered a no-kill shelter. It's bullshit. They're killing more and more. The Broward Humane Society is killing left and right. Broward, Miami, they're killing left and right. No, the dogs are not on the property. The dogs were taken into the home. They were not removed by the police, Lauderdale Police Department.
They're on the property, but they're inside
the house. They're inside the home. They're not outside. I don't know how long that will last. We do have eyes watching on that property to make sure that the dogs are not put back. It's 10%. Okay, 10% is the percentage Judy is stating. I don't know. Okay, well, that's pretty sad. Inside or back out. The dogs are inside the home. They're not outside. They were not removed by animal control. I just read through the response. You guys can go ahead and take a peek at that. You guys can make your phone calls and the emails, and we're going to put up all that information and the laws and the statutes as soon as we shut this down. It's a pretty long video. There's a lot of updating here. Feel free. Yes, Broward Humane Society is a high kill. Yes, it is. May still be not properly treated. Correct, Susan. Even if they're inside, we don't know. We don't know where they are inside the house and how they're being treated. If you can treat an animal in that manner and tether them and lock them in a cage outside in the 90-plus degree,
that's another thing.
That's the part that scares me too.
The other thing is too.
Don't know.
Can we get an answer from animal control about how often are they going to do wellness checks on this property?
Mm-hmm. No, we can't get an answer on anything.
Yeah.
We can't get an answer on anything. The information that I received was through a friend of mine. That's all we have. So we got no response from animal control after I sent out a very nice email. It wasn't nasty. It was very to the point, professional. Email sent praying for a positive outcome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to shut down, and I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody. Yes, Judy, you're correct. Palm Beach County is horrific. Horrific. They don't even have air conditioning in their shelter. Imagine that. With all the money in that county, they have no air conditioning. Imagine the temperatures. You can contact any of the news, but let them know that the dogs are no longer outside. And if they want to do a story, the story has to be about the bigger picture as to what we went through as an organization and as a community.
That the departments need to implement some sort of protocol and procedure to train them properly on animal cruelty. And something's got to change. They need to do better with these departments. That's what the story is here. And also to do the wellness check on these animals that are currently that animal control just the ones that we just did. They need to do a wellness check on them. We need to find out what's happening. Right. I'm exhausted, guys.
Yeah, we're exhausted, guys. You guys are. Somebody said, "Can you do an update of the babies tonight?" My chest is tight. I'm home for the night. I have my help from my wonderful team that are covering both houses tonight. I will not be there tonight. I'm staying here tonight, and I'm going to be updating the page and the videos and the phone calls and the emails, answering and making phone calls for any potential interest adopters and whatnot. I have a lot of things to catch up, so there will not be an update tonight from the rescue house. I will update tomorrow, I promise, but right now I can't go back there. I need to rest tonight because we're just physically, emotionally drained. So it's been 24/7, no sleep. We're going to chill. And thank you, everybody, yet again, for your continued ongoing love and support, both of us, from Carol, my wife, and myself. And I thank you from my entire 100-plus team. And we're going to continue to do what we do best, and that is fighting with all of you. We love you both. We love all of you. And thank you. So we'll post all the information, and we will update you more. Thanks again, guys. This is Amy, Carol, 100+ abandoned dogs of Everglades, Florida. Guys, please remember one thing. Always remember to be kind to one another. And this is my new motto. I live by it. Stay humble and be kind to one another. And remember that we have to continue our fight and be the voice for all of these voiceless, helpless animals. There's so many, and the problem is only growing daily. It's getting worse, and we have a serious mentality war on our hands. So we're counting on all of you. We need this army to grow. We need more of you to be our support, and be right beside us, right in front of us, and right behind us. And don't think we don't know each and every one of you. We see your names. We feel your love. We feel your energy. We feel your passion through this video every time. So when we are live and you decide to jump on and you decide to watch us, please don't just sit there and watch. Please say something. Engage with us. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know you're there. Don't be shy. I'm not shy. I need you. We need you guys there. We need to hear your input. We want to know what you're thinking. It's important. All right. Thank you, Laurie Montgomery, for all you did. I love you, and thank you, and every one of you. Guys, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. 100+ abandoned dogs of Everglades, Florida. Thank you.